Chuck
We will
Norris
have
movies.
somebody that's listening, and they'll.
I
look
grew
it
up
up.
with Chuck Norris movies.
Yeah. So what's that one called? Where the guy wearing the silver outfit wakes up.
He's like a demon, right?
He's not a demon.
I could have swore he was like a demon. Sorry about the extreme close-up.
Okay, guys.
Padded room, inmates, and psycho bunnies. Are you guys ready to get into Seed? This is not a good movie, and
It's okay.
You think it was okay?
Yeah, I don't think it was a good movie, great movie, but I thought it was okay. The only thing I didn't agree with this is
the beginning.
No. Besides that, how can you put a inmate in a cell with a hood on?
That is just the beginning of our problems. There are many problems with this movie.
That's the only thing that was like bugging me the entire time is there was no way a prison would allow a person in a prison with a mask on.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. None of this movie makes any fucking sense. But it's a Uwe Boll movie. So if you like movies that are adapted from video games, this is the guy for you. If you like movies that make sense,
this is not for you.
Keep on moving. Keep right on moving there, kiddos.
Just go to the next film.
Just whatever you're looking at on hey, the Ringmaster's in the house.
Hey!
Whatever you were paging through on Netflix, just keep right on rolling. Oh, parole officer in the house too.
Oh, hi, parole officer. What's
up?
I
found a Seed on Amazon Prime.
I actually own the disc, and you know what? Hold that thought. I'm going to grab
Silent Rage.
Silent Rage.
That's the best Chuck Norris movie ever.
That's debatable.
Clearly, you've never seen Firewalker.
Yeah,
I've seen
I like
Chuck
Firewalker.
Okay, that's got Ron Silver in there.
Ron Silver.
Best ever.
Remember Ron Silver from The Entity?
Mm-hmm.
Parole officer. That tequila.
Not so good.
I think it's good.
What is it called?
Terramana.
Terramana. We sampled The Rock.
Oh, it was terrible.
The Rock's got his own tequila. We tried it, courtesy of the parole officer. I might add.
Thank you, Jesse, for that terrible stuff.
I mean, if you want to like degrease an engine or something like that, stuff to go with.
He's gonna degrease this engine. Here.
John Barlow in the house.
Hey, Barlow! What's up, Barlow?
What's up, JB?
Holy shit!
Okay, I feel the need to go grab this disc real quick because I want to show everybody the bait and switch that occurred with this movie and how and why I came to actually own the hard disk.
Yeah, because I really want to know the whole story.
I'm gonna go get the whole.
Because I don't even know why you would own the disc like this.
2 seconds.
All right, he says 2 seconds.
Because the cover looks cool.
Okay, so who in this cover would really look cool enough to say, "Hey, you know what? I should probably buy this disc."
Me.
All right, here we go. What do you got, Darian? Show it. Let's see it. He's got it in his head. Come on.
All
right.
What is it called?
IMDb?
Yeah, that's not the cover they show.
Okay.
No, it's not.
But if you got yourself an extra $20, $30 in your pocket, you're perusing the Best Buy,
all right,
thinking, I'm going to get myself a kick-ass horror movie, and what you find is a hot chick sitting in an electric chair.
Okay, well, that's got my curiosity.
Of course, you're thinking, okay, how can I go wrong? It's got.
You know what that reminds me
So who is it?
Jennifer's Body.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
This has absolutely nothing to do with the movie.
So whose body is that supposedly on this disc?
This young lady does not appear in the film. I don't know who she is. She's mildly attractive. She's not in the movie.
She's not in the movie?
There is no hot chicks in this movie. None.
You just got sucker punched.
I got sucker punched. I'm out probably $16.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
You know what? At least when we did this film right now, you didn't have to rent it.
That's true. I already owned it.
Did you have to rent it?
No, I've already.
I certainly hold on. I could have sent you guys pirate links, but whatever. All right, we're gonna do a podcast here, you maniacs. Let me get my microphone.
That's so weird. Why would they put her on the cover?
That's
not the cover I keep seeing. I keep seeing the guy with the mask on.
I would not have bought it if it was just a guy in the mask.
I don't know. You probably would have.
No, that's a hot chick in a. I'm thinking, a female slasher finally.
This is not a XXX film, Darian.
It's not. It is not. I was hoping it was.
Wrong kind of seed.
No,
Yeah, no
Yeah.
boobs at all.
No
for
boobs.
Darian.
Right?
Very little blood. Well, there is some blood, but it's all CGI and it's horse shit.
Yeah.
I have wrapped myself up in this microphone.
Oh, hey, yo.
Are you
all right.
okay?
Yes, I'm fine. No, I'm not.
All right, what do you need?
We've done nothing. You're
He's
good.
done a lot of shots.
We
We
have
all
done
have.
quite a bit of drinking this evening. I showed up with a bottle of peanut butter whiskey.
And
then
I
Monica-
showed up with 5 different ones.
Monica showed up 20 minutes later with 2 bottles. And then Buddy, 5 minutes after that, with what, 6 bottles? I think?
Something like that.
6 or 7. And now we're going to try and do a podcast
Wish us luck.
on a shitty movie at that, which in a way makes things even worse.
or better.
Okay, here we go. Microphone's on, Monica.
We're on.
You've been talked to about this.
It's on.
Sucker Punch. My God.
That was a
Oh,
good
that was a
movie.
different movie.
Sucker Punch, not a bad show. If you don't
Yeah.
mind
too
CGI boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Okay.
love that girl in that movie.
Which one?
Don't we all?
The big blonde girl
I like the redhead
She was
better.
hot.
But that's just
Really?
me. Yeah.
Hmm.
With the short hair and the goggles.
that
Uh,
played in
I like the
Lavender also. What's her name?
Mm.
She used to
Lauren
date.
Bobcast.
She was a fanning.
No,
wasn't
no,
she?
no, no. She used to date the what's his name? Ryan Felipe.
Oh, Reese Witherspoon?
No, 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 no. Corbin.
You got me.
Buddy's gonna find it right
Okay,
now.
buddy, you find it.
Yeah, she's the hot blonde
Okay.
that could kick your ass.
I like that. I like a young lady that can work me over.
Did you find it?
Yeah, her name is Emily Browning.
Vanessa Hudgens?
No.
I like Vanessa.
No, the blonde.
She was great in
There she is, right there. That chick.
Jenna Malone?
Abby Cornish.
That girl.
Jenna
Abby.
Malone.
Jenna Malone.
Abby. Yes.
I like Jenna
The one who
Malone.
played Rocket. Oh, no.
Sweet
the one
Pea.
who played Sweet Pea. Abby Cornish.
Yes, I love her. She's like 5'9".
Jenna Malone, not bad either. You'll
Jenna Malone, that's the sourpuss.
from the Neon Demon with the weird tattoos.
And she always
The
plays.
Ruins.
Fuck her.
She's not
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
Does she know
okay.
how to smile?
Probably not.
Fuck that bitch.
All right, let's do a podcast.
All right. Here
Here we go. That's right, inmates. God damn it, we're talking about Seed from 2006. It's written and directed by the incomparable Uwe Boll of Germany.
Yes.
Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the work of Uwe Boll, if I'm pronouncing that correctly,
Sounds right.
he's a son of a bitch. And
Oh, yeah.
He's from Germany.
I believe he.
Oh, really? Are you a Germany fan?
What are you, a soccer fan all of a sudden? Or you just like anti-Semitism? I don't know.
No, I like that there's no speed limit.
Oh, the Autobahn.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hey, you could be like 13
Germany
years old.
The
to
Autobahn.
drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this guy is known for some of the worst films you've ever seen. All
About all of them.
yes, all based on video. Well,
Most.
the majority of which are based on video games.
Yes.
You got House of the Dead,
Mm-hmm.
which is so bad that they actually used life bars on the side of the screen.
It's a good video game.
It's a great video game.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie.
Yes.
Make you want to piss your pants. It's so bad. Blood Rain, which
That one
Good
is
game.
bad.
good game, does have a pretty good sex scene in it.
Yes.
For the record, though, what the hell are you doing putting Michael Madsen in your movie as a medieval knight?
Was terrible.
If you have Michael Madsen in your movie and he's not playing a dirty cop or
That's
a drug dealer,
Poor film.
you've already failed.
Yeah.
You already failed.
You
Yes.
already know when you hire him. You have a
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm
Movie.
gonna get Michael Madsen this. Okay, well that just dropped like 2 stars.
No,
Two
no, no,
stars on IMDb.
It's fine if he's a dirty cop or a drug dealer or a bank robber.
I think him and Tom Sizemore are brothers.
Yeah, I agree with that. It seemed like it
Nick
anyway.
Nolte is like their long lost uncle.
Uncle,
So They
yeah.
all have the same voice. Really.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What else you got? You got that Dungeon Farewell to the King Dungeon Rush with Jason Statham.
Oh yeah.
Another
God.
fucking shitstorm.
Mhm.
Wow.
Postal. What else? Rampage, which we're gonna do next
Not
week.
too bad.
Monica loves that one. That's probably about the crowning jewel
Oh, yeah.
of the Uwe Boll.
That's like the
Menu.
peak of the movies.
It's about as good as it's gonna get.
I could get as far as number 2.
2?
too with him.
That was the one that had Catherine Isabel, right? Where he goes into the hairdresser salon.
Into the woods.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Michael Pare. That would also, right?
Yes.
Played the
Yes.
cop again.
Yes.
All right. Well, enough about that.
Yeah.
We'll further delve into the life and times of Uwe Boll. Right now, we're talking about Seed from 2006. Written and directed, of course, by Uwe Boll. Stars Michael Pare,
Oh,
who we know and love. We
We
love
do?
Michael. Yes.
yes.
Eddie and the Cruisers.
Mm-hmm.
Streets of Fire, for
Oh,
Christ's
good.
sakes.
That's a good one.
I love Streets of... You don't like Streets of Fire.
I don't like this guy.
Why don't you
Yeah.
like about Michael Pare?
Because this guy is a knockoff from Dexter's dad.
No.
What was Dexter's dad's
You're
name?
thinking of James Remar.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
the same guy.
No,
Oh.
it's not.
My dear.
Get out.
Don't
Get
get
out.
Don't get me wrong. I love some James Remar, but
Yes.
he's no Michael Pare.
No.
My question, though, is what the fuck happened to Michael Pare? What was that movie we watched like a year ago where he played a homeless guy?
Oh, yeah.
And he
I know
stumbled
which
into
one
the
you're
house.
talking about.
What was that? Do you remember the name of it?
No, but I
That
look it
was
up.
horse shit. And
I know which
my
one you're
question
talking about.
is what happened to Mike? He was the original Eddie Valens from Eddie and the Cruisers.
Yes.
The musical.
Mm-hmm.
A beautiful film. Streets of Fire. What else? He did a whole slew of like action
And
movies
he
in the
was
early
in a
80s.
lot of 80s.
He was
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
He was great.
That was his prime.
And then he disappeared for like a decade, then shows up, and now he's like this old haggard looking. Bleh, and he's showing up in an Uwe Boll movie.
Drugs.
Fucking fuck, man.
The only person that would hire him.
Oh, come on. I'm on Team Pare. This movie got 3 stars on IMDb.
Ooh,
It's
that's
bad.
terrible.
It's a bad movie.
Hmm.
And so I'll just go ahead. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, inmates, what we're looking at coming out of the opening credits is some PETA footage. And it has no context, no reason to be there at all whatsoever. And what we're looking at is dogs and wolves. And I believe there was some foxes, possibly some minks being brutally killed.
Mhm.
For
real footage.
Absolutely real footage.
Yeah.
And it's hard to watch, man. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, why? Why do we need to see this? And I don't have a fucking answer for
Yeah,
it.
that's
man.
a really good question.
I don't have an answer. I would love to tell you why this needs to be in the film. I can't. No reason. We see our antagonist watching this.
Mhm.
The titular Max Seed, who is the villain of this movie, and the big time slasher. Now,
Max Seed sounds like a porno movie.
there's a Max Hardcore,
Oh,
but he's much more enjoyable. in this movie.
probably harder than
He's got like a weird fish hook move that he does with the ladies, where he
Oh yeah,
comes in and then he
like the middle finger,
and then he
the
hooks
ring
it.
finger,
He hooks it around.
and the thumb just goes in.
I don't think that. I don't know. It doesn't seem pleasurable to me, anyway, or to
Okay.
anybody. I don't know. Maybe it's a
Sorry.
thing.
I got off track.
You did. Please share pics of co-hosts and audience. Okay,
Oh.
we'll do that.
All right.
Why we're watching this PETA film, this PETA footage, I have no idea, other than to say this is a fucked up movie,
Yeah.
and we're going to punch you right in the face right off the get-go. Now,
Oh man.
before I think I have an explanation for the PETA footage.
Okay.
It pertains nothing to the story, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say what's going on here. Now, this is 2006 Uwe Boll. Round about 2004, Uwe Boll got so sick and tired of his critics making fun of his movies that he went so far to challenge them to a boxing match.
Oh yeah.
And 4 of them actually showed up for said boxing match.
4 out of how many?
Thousands, I'm
Oh,
sure.
wow.
And that doesn't include podcasters.
Oh.
Now, before we go any further with this, it's important to note that Uwe Boll is actually a Golden Gloves level boxer. He knows his way around the ring.
Okay.
So he knocked all 4 of these fat fucks out
Oh damn.
in no time flat. And I don't know what he was trying to accomplish with this, as if to say, you're a piece of shit for making fun of my movie, so I'm going to knock you out.
Sounds like an ego thing.
Does that make your movies any better?
No.
I texted a pic to Darian, which best describes tonight's show. All right, we'll check that
Okay.
out in a second there, Jim.
All right.
So I don't know what the point of this was. Now, to make matters even worse, about 3 years ago, he tried to get Rampage 4 kickstarted.
Oh.
Failed miserably,
Okay.
and then went on a YouTube rant just dropping ethnic slur after ethnic slur
Oh no.
about what's wrong with society and how these people don't do this and those people don't do that. It was terrible, man. It's
Mm.
bad. It's hard to watch. So what I'm getting at here, inmates, is that this guy has like a hate relationship with the movie industry.
Yeah, sounds like it.
By that I mean we hate him and he hates us.
Oh,
but
I don't hate him.
you don't hate him?
I don't
no?
Okay.
All right.
I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
Wait. How old is
He's got to be in his 60s now.
Oh, okay.
54.
he?
I
Wow,
double
there you
checked it. He's pretty young.
go.
I will fight Uwe Boll, but not in a boxing ring. It's got to be a street fight.
Yeah, street fight.
I think I can take him in a street
Why don't you
With
you
extra
do a runoff with him?
A ru- oh,
You
I'll-
could
oh,
beat
a
him.
runoff?
I will smash
I
him.
There
will
you
run
go.
away
I
from you
will
so hard.
smash.
Yeah, you could probably do 10 miles before he even gets a mile
Yeah,
I will
done.
destroy
There
Uwe
you
Boll in a
I will run
runoff.
so hard.
I will run your fucking face off, Mr. Bowl, if I'm pronouncing your name
Catch
correctly.
me if you can.
Okay, so regardless, we have some PETA footage. Very hard to watch. These animals being brutalized and murdered. And then from there, we go right into our story because the PETA footage has zero to do with our story.
Right.
So now he tries to do like a Tarantino thing here where we're going to jump all over the story and kind of try to keep track of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start off with a warden running a prison. And by prison, I mean a very dark garage where there's 3 cells.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to sign off on being a prison. I get it.
It's a super large, small budget.
Mr. Bowl is up against the budget. But I'm watching this and I'm thinking, why is this prison so dark? They have like one light
One light
for the entire prison. No,
Yeah.
not per cell, for the whole fucking prison.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird, but whatever. We get the gist of it. So what we're extrapolating from this scene is that the electric chair they're about to use on our slasher, our antagonist, is not up to date. Probably not going to work the way it's supposed to, and we're going to run into some fucking problems.
Right.
We know this because we have a warden who's talking to one of the head guards about, I wrote letters and I made phone calls and nobody wants to fund us or send us another electric chair, so
This isn't going to work.
we're just going to have to go forth with what we got on seed. We have to get him under put him on the chair tomorrow night. That's just what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So that really sucks. From there, we're going to cut to then this dude. Okay, if you're watching this movie and you're trying to make sense out of it, you're going to have a hard time because we are jumping back and forth all over the fucking place.
The entire movie.
And there's not like any kind of like placards or anything to say where we're at or what we're doing or anything, because from here, we're going to jump right into an arrest sequence with our main cop, Michael Pare, and him and like, 4 or 5 cops are going to the...
3.
3? Was it 3 cops?
There was 4 of them total.
Oh, there was 2.
Oh, yeah.
There was 2 cars.
Yeah, I know.
Going
but
down the
I
road,
only
2 in each
I
one.
only counted 4.
It's hard to keep track of because you just have like random dudes in police uniforms. There was 2 cars going down this dilapidated road towards a even more dilapidated farmhouse to execute a search warrant on this guy's property because we think he might be the infamous serial killer who, by the way, we know via newspaper clippings has killed 666 people.
Yeah.
That's those are mass shooter numbers. Those are beyond mass shooter. That's like you need like an atomic bomb for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna
You guys aren't 6 feet apart. No safe distance.
no,
we cuddle for you guys.
no, it's true. And to be honest with you, we all have sex with each other before the show.
Yeah.
So whatever
There's that.
she's got, I've got, he's got, whatever he's got,
Whatever I got, you guys got.
It's there's no fucking point in even trying, really. Sorry,
But that's on our Patreon.
roll
page.
off. Yeah, if you want footage of that, that's all other thing.
It costs extra for that.
Sorry. So from there, and this is like a good 45-minute chunk of the movie. Their parole officer
Yes.
is just these guys stumbling around in the dark, an even darker farmhouse in the middle of the night, trying to find this dude and getting picked off one by one. Now, okay, all right, I get what you're doing. It's a very Horace Pinker-esque segment that we're going for. But what we have instead is a lot of cops with flashlights peering around corners. And this is like 25 minutes of the movie, man.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be building suspense. It's not, because we know exactly where it's going. And what's even more disappointing about this sequence is that we finally get to the end of this sequence where Michael Pare, the lead detective, squares off against C, the big scary serial killer with the weird Leatherface bargain basement mask on. And that fight sequence takes all of about 3.5 seconds.
Yeah. Terrible.
Michael Pare does him like a sidekick, and then he goes down, and then he dumps on him, and he's like, "Come on, you son of a bitch!" And then they tussle for like 4 more seconds, and then that's it.
That's it.
Slaps the cuffs on him, puts him in the back of the car, and that's about it.
That's all it took.
The kills are pretty lackluster. I think the shining ray in the middle of this horse shit was the one cop who caught the pickaxe to the side of the head.
Oh,
that was pretty cool.
In the weird we see another cop like get dragged up into the attic and then do a bunch of screaming, and then that's all we just have to sign off on that, I guess.
I felt it was too dark.
It was way too dark.
Yeah.
I don't
I couldn't even see the damn movie.
The whole movie is like that.
I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Inside the prison, or it's like my kid's bedroom with a nightlight.
Yeah.
What the fucking
Oh, apparently he runs a restaurant.
Bull isn't making any more movies since 2016. Apparently, he runs a restaurant that is
that was the
held
last
as
one.
better than any of his movies.
Okay.
I would love to go to Uwe Boll's restaurant. I would love to sample his cuisine. I'm sure it's
His
delightful.
I
restaurant
wonder if his
cannot
restaurant's-
be better than Rampage.
I wonder if his restaurant is called Seed.
I hope it's called House of or Blood Rain
Blood
or
Rain. Oh, yeah.
Dungeon Stomper 12 or Rampage 14. I don't fucking know.
Every movie reference possible.
I love that. I hope
That'd be good.
I hope he's doing very well for himself in the restaurant situation. Chances are, though, with the coronavirus, it's been shut down,
Right?
and he's
Nobody
now
either, or can they?
looking to kickstart Blood Rain 22.
There you go.
All right, so that sucks, man. Now we got like 3 dead cops on our hands. They apprehend him, they take him in, and here comes the whole trial sequence, which takes about 4. That part comprises of about 4 minutes of Michael Pare flipping through newspaper clippings, in which we get this 666 people body count. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the kind of body count we're talking about. From there, we cut to his prison sentence, where for some goddamn reason he's allowed to wear a mask inside
the
the prison cell.
What the fuck?
Is Bauhaus, and it's in Vancouver.
Wow.
We could be there in like 8 hours. We could drive right up to
Yeah.
Vancouver. It's called Bauhaus.
I used to go to Vancouver all the time.
We should
Wow.
go up in there wearing House of the Dead t-shirts
Yes.
and be like, "What's up?"
You can go in.
I will
We'll go
do it.
in there. You can challenge him.
I'll challenge him to a
fight.
boxing match, street fight.
I
Oh,
used to go to Canada 3 times a year.
look at you. So that's pretty stupid, man. And now we get this ridiculous sequence of 3 corrections officers. I think they were trying to either rape him or just fondle his dick.
I think they were trying to rape him and show him a good lesson.
I don't know what they were
Goes
going
to
for. Needless to say, he kills all 3 of them in a horrifically CGI'd fashion.
Dude, if you're in prison and some like jackass guard decides to rope you and like stick your finger up your butt, when you want to do something about it?
I mean, if it's
Absolutely.
unless it's going to get me extra privileges,
Yeah.
because I mean, if that's going to
just got me an extra meal.
if that's going to make me a trustee and give me a little extra something on the side, you want to go a knuckle deep on me? We can talk about it. I don't have to say anything to the warden or anything. When is Boxing Day? You could go then. Oh, dude, I'm not going to fight a senior citizen. Clayton. I'm going to tell you right now, unless I am a senior citizen, which I'm not legally just yet. But I will try.
Boxing
his
Day
food.
is usually around Christmas.
I don't care. I'm not going to fight Uwe Boll. Unless, if he challenges me to a fight, I will accept said fight. I will. It's got to be a street fight. I don't want the boxing rules.
Okay.
Take his ass down and I'll choke the piss out of him.
And
I will make him try to- I will make him explain the PETA footage in this movie because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
You know what?
All right. Anyway, so that's pretty stupid. From there, we cut to the actual execution scene. This part's pretty silly. Again, as alluded to, the electric chair in this prison is janky as shit.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I understand that, but he really revved up the janky part because he has like exposed wires being screwed into this guy's head,
Mhm.
and they have to like soap him down first to get the full, electrical current going and things like that.
Deep cavity search.
All right, now another thing. Okay, yeah, that too. Another thing that's important to mention right now is that this movie takes place in 1979. That is not alluded to until about halfway through the movie when the coroner fills out the death certificate.
Right.
Unless you were really privy to Michael Pere's hairstyle or his weird leisure suit situation that he had going on, you probably wouldn't have picked that up. So, 1979, Capital Punishment Electronics. It's a bit of a stretch, but I'll say, yeah, what the hell.
Right.
So they screw all the diodes into him and they bolt him down to the chair and he's all pissed off. And here comes the families of the victims and they're all giving him the stink eye, as they should. Finally, they shoot him the juice once. Here comes the medical examiner. Gives him a good once over, says, hey, man, his heart's still beating. Shoot him the juice again. Here comes the medical. This time, like his leg hair bursts on fire and I don't know, a bunch of other weird stuff. And at this point,
is that what you do, Monica?
Your leg hair bursts on fire.
Dark it up there.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
No. We're talking about your tanning.
Yeah. Is that your secret?
Yeah.
You just electrocute yourself to get a little darker? No. All right.
Well,
I'm
whatever.
totally lost now. I don't know what the tanning bed.
Yeah. Well.
Oh yeah, electrical tanning bed or.
Monica goes to some extreme measures
Yeah.
to keep this golden brown.
She's thinking it's secrets.
I think she douses herself in gasoline.
Oh, I would if
I know that you would.
Shocking.
Anything to stay brown.
53 isn't considered a senior citizen. Well, in that case,
all right.
yeah, you want a street fight, Uwe Boll? I'd like to sample your cuisine first, but after that, I'm happy to fight you and make you explain the PETA footage. Regardless, so now, okay, all right, this has no factual basis in reality, but at the start of the movie, we're hit with a disclaimer that if you, for whatever reason, if you survive 3 45-second volts of
15,000
45-second shocks of 15,000 volts, as per American capital punishment law, then you are then set free.
Yes.
Now, I did a little Google searching and I could not find anything to substantiate.
I couldn't either.
I don't think that's an actual thing. It may have been
It
at one
sounds cool.
point.
Is that true, inmates?
Yeah.
Can you tell us that?
If anybody has any legal background, I would love to know if that's
Or
a
if you
thing.
electrocute anybody, let us know.
I've been zapped once or twice in my day.
I know, double A bolts.
I work with electronics, and
or 9 volts. Whew, look out.
It's enough. It'll wake you up in the morning.
Oh yeah, I've done 9 volts.
So on the tongue.
That's
That's the only way to find out if the battery's
Yeah, right? Is it good here? Try this. Yeah, it's good.
I think it's okay.
I think it's okay.
I think it's okay.
It still works.
It's just,
It's
man, does
perfectly
everything
safe.
taste like ice cream?
Yeah.
So that's pretty stupid. But they just shot this dude twice. If they hit him again and he survives, he gets to walk right out of there. So the warden, plus the coroner, plus Michael Pere, plus our medical examiner come to a hasty resolution that, hey, he's probably brain dead. He should be legally blind at this point. Let's just stick him in the fucking ground
And tell
call it a
everybody
day.
he's dead.
Tell everybody he's dead.
Yeah.
So they do just that. He's still like, now this part is dumb because as they put him in the coffin, he's like trying to get out of his restraints. So clearly he's not brain dead. They put him in the coffin, put him in the ground that night, and walk away. So needless to say, he of course is not dead. Breaks out of the restraints and digs himself out of the hole in the ground, and then goes on to wreak havoc there at the prison. Somehow gets back into the prison, all bloodied and still wearing his goddamn mask, and immediately kills the executioner. Puts him in the electric chair and zaps him. And apparently everybody that works at the prison also lives at the prison. Because it seemed to me that they all lived within about 6 feet of each other. First he goes to the medical examiner's weird studio apartment thing there, hides under the bed, and then bites his face off. Then goes to the warden's office and pins him to the wall, and then swims to the main shore. I should mention that this prison is on an island of some sort.
Yeah.
Swims to the mainland just in time to catch Michael Pare telling his daughter about how he catches bad guys, and it's slowly turning him into an alcoholic, and that's why I don't know what the fuck that has to do with anything.
No.
But there it is. You get a little tender moment between Michael Pare and his his daughter.
Yeah.
Well, hell,
This show is turning us into alcoholics.
fucking ain't right it is.
Yeah.
Fucking shit. Imagine, Mike, I'm trying to
Wait a minute,
explain
turning us
shit.
into it, or I thought we were already there.
Yeah.
If not, we're well on our way.
Right.
All right, well, this is Ube Bowl month. You want to see us hammered? Here it comes. Month of
Here it
April.
comes. Brace yourself.
We got nothing better to do.
No.
We're on quarantine, for fuck's sake. All right, so from there, now this is where shit gets even dumber because somehow this motherfucker makes it all the way to the mainland, which appeared to be about at least a 3 or 4 mile swim, and then just resumes his killing spree. And now we're going to jump to about 6 months in the future where all the press is like, oh, there's a copycat killer, bodies are mounting, what are the police doing? And Michael Pare is catching more and more shit from his boss. You should have fucking killed him when you had the chance. And
I agree with that.
there's a big cover up about, oh, fuck, what are we doing? We knew he was alive. We just buried him alive. We thought he'd be dead. And then he got out. And now he's killing people.
Yeah.
And this is where the real stupid shit takes place because we get like a 12-minute sequence of our antagonist, Max Seed, killing an old lady with a hammer. And I don't know what we're doing here, dude, but it's like 12 minutes of he's got the old lady tied up and he's just kind of walking around and giving her a little tip tap on the head, and then he goes to the other side, another tip tap with the hammer, and then the hammer strikes get
Who
harder
was
and
this
harder.
lady?
Just some random broad. Like I don't know.
Because he's going after everybody that like electrocuted him.
No, it's
All of a
just
sudden,
some
there's
random
this
chick.
one woman who's
No.
like, what the hell?
I think it was just a random house he came
Yeah,
across.
just random chick. And it gets. I mean, this takes like 12 minutes, and
It's so long.
I get what we're going for here. We're going for brutality and the methodical nature of this killer. We want to make him just be the evilest son of a bitch that just ever was, and we're going to show it by taking it out on this poor old lady. The problem here is that it's 2006, and
Let's go to meetings.
I'm not an alcoholic. I don't go to meetings.
We only pass step 1.
This is-
when we have a problem.
This is our meeting.
We don't have
Yeah.
a
Does
problem.
alcohol make any of Bull's movies watchable?
Yes.
Not this one, Clay. I'm gonna tell you right now, not this one. This one's, I think, alcohol makes it harder to watch just because of all the animal stuff at the beginning.
Or if you're drinking alcohol, it's like before you watch the beginning of it, so you actually miss the whole part of it.
Well, I mean, like
Like,
I
I'm going downstairs to go get my liquor while this plays.
Yeah,
so I
hit
miss
play. And then go get
your fucking room.
Yeah.
I felt like a bigger piece of shit for watching this and then coming on this show to talk about it because I feel like I'm somehow giving it.
I felt like you picked this on purpose for
I did.
me.
I did. I wanted to.
Bastard.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's exactly why I picked it. And yeah,
Or our sponsor for this month
Is,
picked it, was
the-
like, oh, I'm going to stick it to Monica.
no,
Stick it to Monica month.
no. Our sponsor was like, "Fuck you guys," but he did not bring up your name or this movie. He just said Uwe Boll. So
Yeah,
There's
knowing
that.
we would do this movie.
regardless, I feel like it made it worse. Having a couple of pops before I did this,
Man.
just for the opening 20 seconds. So
Yeah.
and then after that, you're like, "Oh, I'm just watching a shitty movie." That's what I'm doing. But back to the old lady sequence. This takes a good
It's a
probably
long scene.
15 to 20 minutes of him
Unnecessary.
walking around and hitting this old lady in the head. Now, I get what Bull was going for, but the problem is that this is 2006. And round about the halfway point, we cut to CGI.
Yeah.
And it's bargain fucking basement CGI.
Oh, it's terrible.
And the old lady's head getting jerked back and forth as she's gasping for air.
And him holding his like little hair. Whoa. It's like, really?
This is almost cartoonish.
Yeah.
Is
It's
how bad it is. And then at the end, he takes the hammer and he plunges it like handle down into the stump that was her head. as like some kind of a chainsaw massacre-esque tribute.
Yeah,
See,
started off
this-
good fun and it just kind of went weird.
This
Not
just
even
all
fun.
bothered me just because my friend got killed by that
Hatchet?
at the U-Haul murder.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my friend from high school that got murdered with the hammer. So
that was a hammer.
It was a little. Ugh.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
personal.
It would hurt.
Yeah, only if you know somebody that's been murdered by being beaten in the head. With
It wasn't
a
even a
hammer.
ball peen hammer.
No, it was like a
hatchet.
weird hatchet hammer.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's up, Jeff? We're in Reno, so thank you for joining us from Vegas.
What's up, Jeff?
You're on the same lockdown that we are, amigo.
Yeah.
And fuck Governor Sisolak for doing that to us, piece of shit. Oh, stop! Such a drama queen.
oh, whatever.
All right. Anyway, this is like a 12-minute sequence, and it's pointless and doesn't. This isn't even a character that we care about because
No.
we never saw this old lady
Yeah, it didn't make any
before
sense.
this sequence, and we're never going to see her or her family again.
It
so
could have
it
been
doesn't
your
matter.
grandma.
No, but the whole thing is this move. The guy is going after everybody that electrocuted him and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, he shows up at this random woman's house. It's like, who the fuck is this woman? Why do we even care about her?
Well,
Now, if it would have been like that cop's
It was a
wife or
throw-in.
something else, that would have made a big difference in this movie.
this was not necessarily because this is a throwaway kill, as Monica just said.
Mm-hmm.
But as the sequence, right after the sequence takes place, we cut to more newspaper clippings of the
Mhm.
killings and the copycat. They think there's a copycat and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so I think this was supposed to be like an exclamation point on that sequence stating that our boy is back and he's even more brutal than ever.
Yeah.
Not that it really fucking matters. So
Mm.
now we're going to cut back to Michael Pare, who is our lead detective in the case. And he's
Mhm.
trying to track. He knows that Max Seed is alive and that he's out killing
Mhm.
people, and the brutality is going to increase until somebody fucking catches this dude a second time.
Mhm.
Now the problem here is that the public and the press and everybody else is still under the impression that Max Seed is dead because of the cover-up that took
Liz.
place at the.
Hi,
Liz in the
Mike.
house. What's up, Mike and Liz?
Hey, Mike. Hey,
Because-
Liz.
Because of the cover-up that took place at the prison island.
Yeah.
So we get like a standoff in the police precinct parking lot between Michael Pare and his lieutenant or whoever, and the lieutenant's like, "You gotta be a fucking cop," and he's like, "I was doing the right thing," and he's like, "You find him and you kill him like you should have the first time."
Right.
He's like, I apprehended him, and it's not my job. I'm not an executioner," and he's all the usual good cop, bad cop horse shit. So that's pretty gnarly. Now we're going to cut to Michael Pare back at the precinct. He receives a bunch of VHS videotapes.
Mhm.
Here's the problem. This movie, as shown in the original death certificate written for Max Seed, is taking place in 1979.
Mhm.
Who here had a VCR in 1979?
Me.
I'm not. You did not.
Yeah.
In 1979, you
Yes.
had a VCR.
I was 4 years old. Yes.
We didn't get one till 1982.
See yourself out the window.
We did.
Jump
We
right
had
out. I didn't get one till 1984.
Oh.
Yeah, well, this
Well,
is
you're younger,
Yes.
so that's why.
regardless. Okay, maybe you did have a VCR. Did you have video recording equipment? No.
Not the recording
No.
equipment, but we had a VCR.
We
And
had those
shortly
beta
after that,
tapes.
beta came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had beta tapes.
I'll,
back
I'll
then.
sign off on the beta tapes, except that we actually see VHS tapes
Right.
showing up at the police precinct. Now, I'm not one to stickle for the details. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, man. You got to show some common fucking sense here.
We still own one and have them.
I
Yeah.
have
VHS
one.
DVD. I have a VCR in my garage
Yes.
right now. It's built into a 13-inch TV. That's neither here nor there. It is. It's beautiful. It still has my name and
That's a
military ID.
classic.
It
Don't
is.
get rid of it.
Fucking A. It used to be
Yeah.
right behind me. Anyway, so he's sending them VHS tapes. And what's on these VHS tapes, you wonder? Nothing really.
Porn.
It's
Four.
so it's it's like a docudrama series that this fucker has filmed. Basically, it boils down to a cockroach running a cockroach wandering into this weird holding cell, dying of starvation, and then rotting away in a time lapse thing.
Who does that?
Okay, well, it's a cockroach. Who gives a fuck? After that, a field mouse wanders into there, meets the same fate.
Oh.
After that, I think a Labrador Retriever
Yeah.
with a collar on it, meaning it's somebody's family pet, goes in there. Then a baby, then a full-grown woman, and there you have it. That's the extent of our video tips. And we get to see all the cops sitting around watching this, and they're all like,
Which, when you look it up, it takes 6 to 13 years
Ooh.
for a body to decompose.
That's how I watch Taboo.
Okay.
I still own that Taboo. Woo!
Taboo 2 was always my favorite.
Oh, I still like
It's a porno where the mom fucks all the kids. It's beautiful.
Of course it is.
I want one of those again. I still have hundreds of VHS. See,
Who
Liz,
do I get one of those?
I had like 2 Rubbermaid things of VHS tapes, and then we moved into this house, and my wife made me get rid of them all. And now I have to go buy them all on fucking Blu-ray.
We kept all the WrestleManias we ever recorded.
That's good, because I don't know if you saw the last WrestleMania. It was bizarre.
It was shit.
There was nobody
terrible.
around to watch. It was kind of surreal in a weird way. Anyway, so and he's like stressing out watching these tapes. Oh God! But then he watches them like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fucking point of that is. From there, he gets another videotape at the end, and it's like somebody walking up to his own house. So he's like, "Oh God, I gotta go find my family." Goes hauling ass to his family's house, where he runs up. The door's open. He runs right upstairs, and he's like, "What the hell?" And all right, so he goes upstairs, and he finds in the bathtub like a nice body part soup, which I have to believe is probably the cop that was supposed to be watching the house.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the old lady.
I don't know who it was.
I think it was a couple.
Well, it could be, but it looked like there was about 4 or 5 people's worth of parts in that tub.
I agree.
So I don't know what did he just go to the mall and pick up a couple of random dudes and chuck them in there?
Yeah.
I don't know. But what's really weird about this scene is the like nonchalance that Michael Ferre has after seeing the body parts. He's like,
I've seen this before.
"No, I'm just gonna go get back in my car and see what's going on." So he goes and gets back in his car and hauls ass to the old Maxseed estate. Now, a couple of problems with this scene. In the original, at the beginning, when all the cops are stumbling around in the dark, they're going upstairs and downstairs and getting pulled into basements and down into attics, booby traps, all kinds of weird shit. You're led to believe that this is like some sprawling estate.
Yeah.
Michael Ferre rolls up. It's like a
A homeless shelter.
no, it's like a shelter house, or it's like a lean-to, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's work shed. So how the fuckers? I don't think you could fit 3 cops in there, let alone like lure them off into separate parts and then kill them.
Right?
Okay, but then he goes inside, and of course it looks like the big spiraling estate because he's going up and downstairs and looking all over shit. So he goes in there
through the back. That's what it was.
Oh, that's yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes other difference.
Everybody knows that when you go in through the back,
There's a lot more room.
adds 450,000 square feet to a building. So that actually makes a lot more
I'll have
sense.
to remember that. Next time I buy a house, I'm going to have people come in through the back.
I'm just going to start using the back door to my own house. Look at all this room. Holy shit. There's stairs going. Look, there's another room over there. I didn't even see it.
Thank God you didn't go through the front door. It's
What the
really
fuck?
small.
Small as shit over there. Holy crap. Everybody around the back. Come on.
Let's go.
Way more room.
One at a time. Hold on.
I'm sorry I have to bail, but I wanted to stop and show some support. Have a great, wonderful night. Thank you very much, Liz, for
Thanks,
stopping
Liz.
by.
Have a good night.
Absolutely. So that's fucking ridiculous. But he goes in there and he starts wandering around looking for his family, who's MIA at the moment. Walks down to the basement, gets himself shut into the exact same holding cell where we saw everybody else starve to death and then rot away.
Right.
So he's like, oh, fuck. Now there's like a TV and a camera set up in there.
Mhm.
Old school TV, I might add.
Yeah.
The old cabinet style. And the camera was way too small.
Yeah, it was.
If this is 1979, that camera would have taken up half the room. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not one to stickle for the details here, Mr. Bowl. So he's like, now we get like some weird something to tide you over kind of a thing going on where there's like a live link. No. All right. So this motherfucker, he's too dumb to speak. He's a slasher. He's supposed to be blind and brain dead, but somehow he managed to figure out audio-visual inputs and outputs.
I don't think he was really blind because it kept showing his eyes.
The one eye. He had like one good eye.
Yeah.
Regardless, you think he's going to figure out this audio visual setup?
Hell no.
All right, whatever. Should have had like a sidekick character that was
yeah.
running coax up and down the stairs.
We should have done
Hey, if we get some better speakers, we get a lot better sound quality. You know that, man? You gotta stop killing people. That cockroach thing was gross. We get a better resolution if we ain't came with this one. Regardless,
Thank goodness we gave us the thing.
we need a whole new lighting setup over here because that dog, when it died, it couldn't even see shit. I think we should just do a podcast on Seed's sidekick.
Yeah, Seed sidekick.
That doesn't even exist, that we just made up.
Yeah.
Regardless, he's now trapped in there, and he's watching his family, his wife and daughter on the live link thing. And Seed shows up, and he's like kind of forcing himself on the daughter, not in a sexual way. He's just kind of invading her space.
Right.
And then he shoots the wife in the head with a nail gun. And Michael Pere's like, "Hey, she didn't do anything. You fucking need to deal with me." He put Michael Pere, for whatever the fuck reason, and this doesn't make a lot of sense either, pulls out a gun and shoots himself.
No, it makes sense.
How did it make sense?
Okay, so here's the thing. The crazy killer
Right.
put the gun there in front of him, says basically, not really says it, but basically, you kill yourself, I'll let your family go.
How did you extrapolate that?
That's what I got from it.
I
And then as soon as he killed the woman with the nail gun, as soon as he killed the woman from the nail gun, it's like, oh shit, he means business. Okay, fine, I'll fucking kill myself. And then that's why the daughter got.
But all he
Wow.
does is pick up the nail gun and look at it. How did you get you kill yourself and I'll let your family
Because
go?
the gun was there next to the cop the whole time.
Well,
Like,
he
oh
had
shit,
it-
I know what this means.
he
Either I
had
kill
it on.
myself and let them go, or
I didn't get that at all. I didn't understand any of this shit. I'm willing to sign off on that if that makes the movie somehow better for you.
Yeah,
That's
what I
got from it.
I didn't get that either.
Because I'm like, he just killed himself. What the fuck was the point of that? Now you can't do shit.
yeah, it was one of those. It was one of those things where you kill yourself and I'll let them go, or I'm gonna kill them if you're gonna not kill yourself. And then he's like, okay, I'm proving it to you. Boom, with the nail gun.
Okay.
Oh shit, he means business. I kill myself, the daughter lives.
I didn't
Do
get
we
any of
know
that.
there was only one bullet in the gun?
In his
Oh,
gun?
I don't
He
know.
had the
Like-
gun on him though. Didn't
Well, why didn't he shoot the
the camera?
not the camera, the door
Shoot the door.
and get
I
out?
don't,
Get
think
out of
he,
there.
I don't think he realized how close they were.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I don't know. I think you're reaching a little bit. That's okay. I'm all for
No,
reaching. If
that's-
this
I
makes the
didn't
movie,
even think about that.
if
but-
this makes the movie better for you, then reach,
That's what I got out of it.
reach the fuck out.
Kill
of it.
yourself, I let them go.
Okay.
Boom. Oh shit, the wife died. Okay, I'll kill myself. I don't want you to kill the daughter.
I, on the other hand, was watching this going, why the fuck did he just shoot himself? That didn't make any
I was
sense at
like,
all.
why didn't he escape?
Yeah, get out of there and go see if you can help somebody instead of just killing yourself, you lazy
Okay.
prick. Now you can't do anything. All right, well, that's what he does. He kills himself, and then Seed takes the daughter down there and puts her in the cell with the dead Michael Pere, and that's the end of your movie.
The
What did you guys think of?
Not too bad. It wasn't definitely one of the worst things I've seen.
It's
I mean, it's one of those things where it could have been a great movie, but there's too many flaws.
here's the problem. Here, I know what happened here. So Uwe Boll made a bunch of shit movies, like big budget shit movies, Blood Rain, House of the Dead, the one with Jason Statham, like Hollywood backing shit movies, and they're bad. And if you watch them, you're thinking, how the fuck did this get made? Critics went after his ass hard.
Oh yeah.
So he scrambled together what money he made from that and made Seed. And Seed was going to be his big return to the horror genre. It was him channeling his inner Wes Craven. By that, I mean angry filmmaking.
well, wasn't Seed out before all of these other movies?
No,
no.
Oh.
no. House of the Dead, I think, came out in 2004.
Oh, okay.
Blood Rain was 2007.
Oh, we don't even want to talk about that
Six-ish.
movie.
Oh, we will.
No.
Oh, yes, we will.
Oh yeah, we will.
No.
That's the only remotely spankable movie on this catalog.
No.
Respectable.
Your drinks had better taste. They said had a better taste in this movie. You don't know. You don't know what we've been drinking tonight, Clay.
It could be a
It could be really bad.
We had the
But,
Corona shot.
so this was him trying to return to the horror, make a triumphant return to the horror genre, and do some angry filmmaking. Is there a reason for the PETA footage? No, it's just to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that 12-minute old lady hammerhead situation?
Not really.
Not really. It's
It
just to
makes
punch you in
sense.
the face.
Mhm.
And that's what he was going for here. I feel like it failed miserably because,
He must have been thinking of a critic when he
of
did
course,
that.
he was. He was thinking of all the critics. And he's like,
See.
I'm going to show you, I'm going to make the most brutal, horrific thing that's ever made. And what we got was Seed. And there's a sequel out there to this somewhere. I'm sure it's equally as bad, if not worse. And it's not good, man. I say no bueno on the
Who
Seed.
did the sequel?
I think he did.
He
Uwe
did?
Boll, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
I
cranked
wanna
out like
watch
14 movies in 3 years. He was just
Wow.
blasting through them.
Nothing beats Rampage.
In the Uwe Boll menu, I think that's about as good as you're gonna get.
Mhm.
But I think Rampage overall is great.
Heineken just came out with a 0-calorie beer. Yes, back to Heineken.
That sounds
Oh,
terrible.
fantastic, parole officer.
Is that like Michelob Light?
Yeah, that's what he's been drinking. His fridge is full of.
Oh, yuck.
I'm like, dude, really?
Parole officer. Does your husband know about the Michelob Light?
Right? God, grow
I'm
a pair,
kidding.
will you?
I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
He's trying to cut some weight, cut him some slack, and he still wants to be hammered,
Yeah.
which is not an easy thing to do.
I'm drinking beer
Yeah,
without the
just
calories.
stick
It's
to your
called
Four
water.
Loko.
That's probably for the best. Before you know it, you're on Michelob Ultra, which is next to drinking water,
Wait,
really.
he is drinking Michelob Ultra.
Ultra or Michelob
Yeah.
Light?
No, Ultra. He has in the
Oh,
fridge.
God.
93 calories a can.
Just drink water
Yeah,
and
it's
pretend you're drunk.
It's
That's
like
what I do.
Coors Light. That's like Sex in a Canoe.
Just
Fucking
do
close to
straight
water.
shots. They equal the same.
Dude, if it's clear, you're in the clear. I don't know
Right.
caloric wise. All right, that was all we got on Seed. It's bad. If you like watching animals being tortured and killed,
Watch
This
the
might-
first two-
For no
first two
reason.
episodes.
for no real reason, this
No
might be
reason.
a good show for you.
Don't watch
Other
it.
than that, it's bad. He tried to do like a Tarantino thing. I feel like it failed.
It didn't work.
Yes, it did.
And the story in itself is tired. It's supposed to be a slasher,
Mhm.
but he takes it on all these asinine turns and without any real substance. I could sum
Yeah.
this plot up for you in 12 minutes flat, in a paragraph. Killer survives the electric chair, gets out, gets wreak
Shocker.
vengeance. Yeah, Shocker's a much better.
Oh,
version.
Shocker's way better.
Horace Pinker would kick the shit out of this guy, Max C. Get the fuck
yeah.
out of here, and without hurting any animals.
And there was a booby trap in this movie. Woo.
There was a
Oh,
booby trap.
Yeah.
So they had Shocker and Saw mixed into this
Pinker,
movie.
Horace Pinker didn't need any booby traps.
No.
He'll kill you on his own.
Whatever.
He'll drag his fucking bum leg and he'll kill you all by himself.
Yeah, that's right.
No traps needed. And he'll make fun of your mom while he does it.
Yeah.
Which is even more fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Totally.
Yeah, well, not really. It was more mean-spirited.
Well,
than
you
anything
know.
else. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to take ourselves a little break and we'll come back with some other stuff.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
Oh, he switched to Ultra Infusion, lime and pickled pear.
That sounds like a butthole.
90
That sounds like you're eating a butthole.
Pickled pear.
Blood Rain, can't say favorite Bull movie, but was okay. At least you could beat off to Blood Rain, Clay. There's a hot scene with Christina Loken in there.
Oh my god.
But I can't get past the fact that Michael Madsen is supposed to be a medieval knight in that movie. And Michelle Rodriguez, too. If you have, yes, if you have Michelle, she's like supposed to be like some fair maiden.
If you make us watch that movie, I'm going to kill you.
This was my pick.
I'm going to murder. Okay, good.
This was my pick.
Buddy, you better not pick that
No,
movie.
you can pick the next one.
You got the next one?
I
You want
got
Rampage?
Rampage.
Join us next week for Rampage, inmates, here in Uwe Boll month.
Everybody's going to watch us next week because everyone loves Rampage.
Chances are these two won't show up next
I
week.
will because I love the death of people.
I'm not working, so I'll be here.
It'll be me and Deacon next week talking about it.
You're going to be here for
I
Rampage.
said I'm not working, so
Oh,
I'll be here.
okay.
All righty.
We'll pick you up.
Unless we all get the coronavirus.
Hey.
All right, guys. Thank you again very much for joining us. PettedRoomPodcast.com is where you find out anything you need to know about us or our subsidiary shows. What you saw here is actually just a small portion of the actual podcast. You can find that there. What else? Yeah, just go to PettedRoomPodcast.com.
Yeah.
Anything you know about us, PsychoBunnyDeathCult.com also for anything you want to know about them.
Mhm.
We will see you next week with Rampage.
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 Yay!
Appreciate it, guys, and love you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Whoa.
Hey.
This is the boss's chair.
The boss.